if I could go back to St. Mary's on the day of the Easter Vigil when I was getting confirmed, here are a couple things that I would tell myself. Number one, you did a really good job not letting other people's perceptions of your conversion keep you from actually converting. The Holy Spirit put it on your heart to look into the history of the church and look into the theology of the church. And so you went to RCIA, which I'm told now is called OCIA, but you went and you didn't have to, and you probably didn't have time to because it was every single Tuesday while you were taking 18 hours of college classes. But you made time for Jesus. You made time for God. It ended up being a really fun kind of Bible study every week with a group of people who were also learning about Catholicism. And now you kind of wish that you could go back and do it again because it was a lot of fun. You also totally ignored that guy while you were converting because you didn't want to convert because of a guy, because you knew that everyone thought that's what you were doing. And you know what? You and that guy didn't hardly ever pray at all together. And that was probably a red flag, but you know what? It's okay because you converted to Catholicism anyway, and we're all good now. Another thing, your confirmation sponsor was the right choice. I know you sort of chose her on a whim because she was the only Catholic girl you knew, and you hung out with her every week at the Aggie football game. She stood right behind you and you cheered for the Aggies, so you kind of had that Aggie connection. But she ends up being an amazing sounding board for you when you have your really trad Catholic phase and you're not being a very merciful or loving person to anyone. And she kind of helps bring you back and find that balance between charismatic and orthodox that you really needed to find because nobody wanted to hang out with you when you were in that trad Catholic phase. And don't get mad at me, if you're a traditional Catholic, I am too, but not like, you know, the ones, okay, not the ones. I go to an ordinariate parish. If you're interested in knowing more about that, I just filmed a little update about that. So anyway, you and your confirmation sponsor will be in different states for a long time, and you will both separately go through the crappiest crap that you could ever imagine. And I'm not going to tell you about it because it's kind of crappy, but you make it through, and you make it through by praying together and by being connected to each other, even when you're states away. So you made a good choice, and now she's the godmother of your children, and you still love each other very much and will be friends forever until one of you dies. Unfortunately, you still haven't read that book by your confirmation saint, St. Thomas More. You chose that one because he's an Anglican martyr, and you thought it was kind of ironic that you were converting from Anglicanism and you were kind of like leaving that side of you behind. St. Thomas More is a really inspirational and hilarious person. If you read a lot of his readings, especially his really sarcastic readings, making fun of people who are a little bit heretical, but you still haven't read Utopia yet, and that's okay because it's on your book list for 2025. Unfortunately, the music in Catholic churches around is still kind of hit or miss. You found an ordinariate parish and it has beautiful chant and it has lovely hymns, so you're very happy with your home parish finally after years and years of searching across multiple states. But whenever you're traveling, you do still have to check on Reverent Catholic Mass to see if the music is going to be irritating or not, and that is okay because you're doing something about it. You created Sing with Grace, a program to help families learn hymns so that we can raise up a generation of people who love beautiful Catholic music and kind of, move on from whatever some of these parishes are doing. So it's a little hit or miss still, but you found a good place. And it's so freeing that you finally found the ordinariate because it feels like home. You started believing in the sacraments when you became Anglican, when you went to that summer camp and you learned about the sacrament of matrimony. You learned about the sacrament of the Eucharist and confession. And then you realized that church history was kind of leading you in a different direction, and you went to RCIA and you made that conversion to Catholicism, and then you were kind of lost for a long time because you didn't love all the parishes around. And then you finally moved back home and you found the perfect parish, and there's even a new priest and he's still amazing too. So there's hope in finding a parish for you. Godspeed, past grace, and Godspeed to you who are watching. If you're interested in my conversion story, I have it right here.